The long-term vision really is kind of, as I mentioned, to build this as a cargo hub. We want to basically have a self-contained facility that allows our customers the ability to efficiently do tech stops, but also make money as they're coming through Anchorage by being able to optimize their payloads to better meet the needs of their shipping customers.
We are here at IATA WCS World Cargo Symposium here in London, and with me today is Sean Dolan. He's the Chief Executive Officer of NorthLink Aviation. Sean, happy to have you for this conversation.
It's great to chat.
Let's, since this is my first interview with you and also talking about NorthLink Aviation, just give us a brief idea about what NorthLink Aviation is and what has been your role in this company.
This is, we're talking about Anchorage, Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport, which is the fourth busiest air cargo airport in the world. I was fortunate to come to NorthLink after looking at the infrastructure situation at the airport and realizing there's a tremendous opportunity to build new infrastructure to serve the air cargo community at ANC, but also in the process, open up a new commercial opportunity, which is to not only make and build, ANC's leadership as a hub for tech stops, but also allow the air cargo community the opportunity to really use ANC as a cargo hub. And so first and foremost, we're looking to meet an infrastructure need at the airport, but we really, really want to be able to build ANC as a cargo hub.
Tell us about what is the size of the cargo terminal that you are going to build and what are the timelines of this?
So we've leased 120 acres at the airport for 55 years. We're using a substantial portion of that, kind of basically the top 2/3 of that parcel that we've leased. And we're going to build a facility that will have 11 power-through hard stands, 4 additional hard stands which will be pushed back, and a warehouse which will be approximately 100,000 square feet, as well as office space adjacent to the warehouse. We're also going to have a GSE facility, and notably, because I think this is a sector that is really focused on sustainability, we're also going to be the only facility in Alaska that will fully recover and recycle the de-icing fluid used to de-ice the plane. So that's in a nutshell what we're looking to build.
What is the kind of investment going into this? This could be the first phase of a bigger terminal that's in the plan.
We're developing the project in phases. It's a fairly substantial project as it is. Right now the airport is facing a tremendous need for additional hard stand capacity. So our near-term focus is building the fuel system, including the transport pipelines to feed the first set of hard stands. But our objective really is to get all of the hard stands, the fuel system in 2023, and to make substantial progress with the warehouse, ideally having the warehouse done by the end of next year.
So the warehouse would be completed by end of next year?
That's our objective. It's obviously kind of an ambitious timetable with vis-a-vis the warehouse. But we have a very experienced team that's all Anchorage-based that understands how to get these projects done on a very concise time frame.
And this warehouse is for a general cargo? Is it a very product purpose-built warehouses?
We're designing the warehouse to meet a number of different needs. The reality is that there's a real need for airside warehouse capacity at the airport, and we're designing it to be as kind of flexible and meet as many needs as possible. So first and foremost, a lot of our air carrier customers just need a place to store spare parts. When they have an AOG, they want to be able to have the parts close to the aircraft. But we're also building cold storage capacity, the full range of cold storage capacity to be able to meet a number of different needs, in particular the needs of the Alaskan seafood industry to be able to better access export markets. But I want to also have a substantial portion of the warehouse capacity serve as a tool to basically download and upload cargo so that we can help air carriers and forwarders connect more cargo to more destinations faster and inexpensively.
Will NorthLink be operating these warehouses or will you be leasing it to some other?
We are not going to be the warehouse operator. We are talking to all the logical kind of candidates to operate that warehouse as well as do the ground handling. There's 2 leading companies at ANC that currently provide ground handling. One is Pegasus, the other is Swissport. most people are very familiar with Swissport, but Pegasus is a local company that's very, very well regarded by a number of international carriers. Our objective is to basically build partnerships with Pegasus and Swissport and others to ensure that our customers are receiving excellent service.
What is the kind of timeline for the entire project? You said you have leased about 55 hectares of land. What is the long-term vision for this facility at Anchorage?
The long-term vision really is kind of, as I mentioned, to build this as a cargo hub. We want to basically have a self-contained facility that allows our customers the ability to efficiently do tech stops, but also make money as they're coming through Anchorage by being able to optimize their payloads to better meet the needs of their shipping customers. That's the long-term vision. But in the near term, this is about a desperate need for infrastructure. The airport has seen significant cargo growth over the last couple of years, and with that, you're seeing both the two integrators, FedEx and UPS, expand their operations. That's fantastic, but it's also creating the need for new infrastructure at the airport. Because the airport is self-funded, it's really important for private developers like NorthLink to step in and provide that infrastructure solution, which is a little unique, but it's something that we're thrilled to have the opportunity to do.
Sean, I don't know whether you are at liberty to inform me as to what is the kind of investment gone into this facility?
I'm really, really honored to be working with Tiger Infrastructure, who's the equity sponsor for the project. We've also working with a leading project finance bank for the funding of the project. As you'd expect, given the scale of this and whatnot, this is not cheap, but it's in terms of being able to kind of serve the air cargo community and really kind of unlock the commercial opportunity and see, we actually think it's a pretty modest amount of capital to be able to really, as I said, be able to connect more cargo to more destinations. One of the tricky things about the sector right now is that a lot of cargo comes into the key kind of gateway hubs, LAX, O'Hare, JFK, which are fantastic airports, but there's obviously some physical constraints there in terms of runway capacity, real estate, et cetera. And so our opportunity is to be able to, again, use Anchorage as a hub to be able to connect cargo more efficiently to end destinations. We're never going to, disintermediate those hubs, but what we can do is for a certain amount of cargo, provide it with a quicker route to market.
Did you look at any other airport for building a such facility?
No, I'm actually new to the air cargo sector, and this idea was presented to me. And as I was studying, Anchorage and the airport, it's truly unique. One of the things that about this opportunity in Anchorage itself is there's a tremendous amount of things in this world that are going to change. Whether aircraft are fueled by SAF or hydrogen or whatever, a lot of ways to connect things, but geography doesn't change. And Anchorage is one of a kind because of its unique spot in terms of being midway between East Asia and the lower 48, and also just having really favorable weather. It is undoubtedly snow a lot, but the airport's never closed for weather. It has really abundant access to fuel, so it's really one of a kind in terms of being able to serve as a link between Asia and the lower 48 and the rest of North America.
One of the things that we have noticed in the recent past, and I think Anchorage did really play very early on, that they are freight-friendly, cargo-friendly, and it became an important hub for cargo movement and tech stuff for a lot of the bigger freighter operations.
Right.
We've also seen the similar airports being at different parts of the US and other places where they're away from the main passenger hubs, away from the main metro cities, making the freight-friendly infrastructure.
Right.
So to that extent, do you think that NorthLink could consider building facilities, building infrastructure in other airports as well?
We would love to have the opportunity to partner with other players in the air cargo sector, whether it's airports or other developers, carriers, forwarders, et cetera, to unlock solutions. Tiger has an excellent track record of growing businesses, and there's no question that they've got an appetite to expand further. We have to walk before we can run, so getting Anchorage up and running is critical. But clearly, as we look at the long-term fundamentals of the sector, we see additional opportunity and would be thrilled to have the opportunity to partner with others.
Sean, my last question, since you've been pretty new to the air cargo industry, what is the sense, what are you reading about the air cargo industry in terms of, we have seen like in the last 2 years, there's been a tremendous growth in the air cargo industry.
Yeah.
People have really taken note of, okay, there is an industry called air cargo industry. Global supply chains have been really playing an important role in the world. What are your readings, what are your thoughts about the global freight industry, particularly air cargo?
I think there's really two things that come to mind, neither of which are super profound, but I think are extremely important. I mean, this is a sector that has kind of thrust itself in front of a lot of people's minds in terms of its critical importance in delivering much needed goods very quickly. But there's no question that there needs to be more digitalization. Statistic that's constantly kind of thrown around is the fact that, when a parcel or, a cargo shipment is sent anywhere, it spends 85% of its time on the ground, right? So with digitalization, there has to be a way to decrease the amount of time that cargo dwells in warehouses and other facilities, because that will unlock the value of air cargo even further. And I think that's something that I'm very, very focused on as we think about our business longer term. I think the second thing is sustainability. I mean, the reality is you're talking about aircraft that are powered by jet fuel. And the question is, how can we make the sector more sustainable long term? SAF is going to be a part of that. As we look to partner with our air carrier customers, we're focused on the things that we can do to help them, whether, I mentioned the glycol recycling facility. That has two components to our sustainability story. One is it reduces CO2 emissions because recycling glycol versus using virgin manufactured glycol, that reduces emissions by 40 to 50% on that. But secondly, when glycol goes into stormwater systems, it goes into marine habitats, which is bad. So we can solve both of those problems for our customers. But all of this kind of ties back to we need to be, very, very focused on sustainability, do our part to help the environmental, profile of the sector. I think that's really important.
I'm sure that to address the sustainability goals as well as to really make digitalization key component to your warehouse operations, I hope your cargo warehouse would be modern. It would use a lot of automation process.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I'm really, really thrilled to be working with our design team, Anchorage-based firm called MCG Explore Design. And they've, I think like any kind of good design firm has kind of pushed me to think about new ideas in terms of sustainability. We're going to have our building be LEED certified, but also WELL certified. On the heels of COVID, I think making sure that the employees of NorthLink and our customers have a healthy work environment is really important. And, a component of that is also we're looking at having on-site childcare, again, with the idea of being able to attract a very diverse workforce that sticks together and works together well as a team. That's an important part of our sustainability story, but it's also first and foremost about making sure that we're well positioned to deliver excellent service to our customers. And that's one of the things as a startup I'm really focused on, is just kind of finding that confluence of like sustainability, but also things that are really good for our customers and helping them, improve their profitability and the efficiency of their operations.
Sean, thanks. It's been
Thank you.
Great
it's
talking
been a
to
real
you.
pleasure. Thank you so much.